guys, welcome to 3 Mississippi. Sid here, thanks for clicking on the video. We're getting 2 new additions to the farm today, guys. One is on loan and one is permanent, and I am so excited. You may remember that about 8 months ago, our first Anatolian Shepherds were born, Kusi and Nash. And unfortunately, Nash had a congenital issue. She was the runt of the litter, and she did not make it, despite everyone's best efforts. And so Kusi has been alone for the last few months. But luckily, Jen's dogs had another round of puppies, and those puppies are now 10 weeks old and ready to go to their new homes. And she is on her way over here right now with Tashka. Tashka means warrior in Chickasaw, and we thought that was a very fitting name because Nashaba, we called her Nash, was such a little fighter. She fought really hard to get through her illness, but in the end she couldn't make it. So it's a little nod to her that we know that that she's still watching over the farm in her own way, and she tried her hardest. So Tashka is going to be the next generation here, helping to guard the goats and the birds, and here before too much longer, the sheep. But speaking of the goats, guys, we have our Nubian doe, who is Caroline. I've had her for several years now, and she has given us Anne and Dan, and they are still with her in that pen. Now, Dan is weathered and cannot breed. He's basically a companion goat, but he's such a sweet boy. I never could bring ourselves to kind of turn him into tacos or anything, so he's kind of been spared from that. He's such a love. However, we don't have a buck, but Jen does. She actually has a buck named Buck. Now, they are a Boer Nubian cross, Anne and Dan are. We used to have Neil Diamond was my Boer buck. She's got a Nigerian dwarf. Now, Caroline's actually thrown 2 kids from this goat already. There she's pulling up right now. While Jen and Will were watching Caroline and Anne and Dan while we were in the process of moving, she actually was able to have a couple of kids while she was there. So they're much smaller, but I figure at least it will throw them into milk. They'll be small kids, but we can roast them whole. Hi, handsome. What are you doing? Oh, I smell you. I smell you, sir. Are you ready for a girlfriend or 2? Yeah, you're a little guy. But that's okay, you're gonna make little babies. We're gonna make little nugget babies. Yeah. You're very quiet, sir. He's like, I'm traumatized from the car ride. Yeah, that's fine. We will roast them whole.
I'm just saying, do you see how they're like?
Yeah.
They're probably like a little smaller than him.
Which is surprising.
Come on. We're not gonna jump. No.
He's like, we're not? Why not?
Sorry, that was a lot.
He's like a big doggy. All right, Buck.
Which way do you want to go?
We can go this way.
Come on. I know.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
They're all like,
Who's coming to town? Now these guys, they know each other already because it's okay. Kusi, it's all right. Kusi's like, who is this? I did not authorize this. You're okay. You want to check him out through the fence real quick? Want to check it out?
no.
Say it's okay, Kus.
He's so big.
Say I'm a good boy. Yes, good boy.
You come say hi?
You want to see Buck? It's okay.
Like my goat's like, whatever. It's like my house. Huge. I can't believe how big he is already.
There's going to be some headbutting and some playing, getting to know each other again. Gotta let everybody get reacquainted. Anne's even getting in on it. She's like, I'll headbutt you.
He's like, I'll hit you right back.
Anne. You're a lot, Anne.
Are you ready for me to let him go?
Yeah. Run free.
Now run.
Caroline's like, I'm assuming the position. I'm preparing myself.
Can I get out of the middle of this?
Jeez, right?
I don't feel like getting headbutted today. He's like, Mom, there's 3.
No.
They're being mean. I know, I love you guys too.
You're supposed to make love, not war, okay?
You have to make war first. Then love.
I can't even get him on camera because he's like right underneath me. Same stuff, dude. So give him a little bonding over a snack right now. Let him chill out a little bit. See if it simmers everybody down. You eating so fast you choking there, Buck? And he's just straight Nigerian dwarf.
Yes, purebred.
Yeah.
But him and Caroline make pretty babies.
That's true. They do make cute babies. Well, we'll see what happens, but they're probably just gonna get whole, like it'll be whole roasted goat at some point. But at least it'll put the girls into milk. Hopefully. I know Caroline's gonna let him do the deed, and I'm not so sure about.
You never know.
She's like a wild card. I also feel like she's gonna reject her babies and be a crap mom.
I know, I saw you say that.
I feel like I'm gonna have to bottle feed those, but we'll see. She surprises me sometimes. Like, she actually is pretty good for her nail trims now, but oh, you two. Are you gonna settle down?
Little fighters.
Come on, he's like your brother-in-law. He's gonna give you little nieces or nephews. They'll simmer down. They'll simmer down. So today marks day 1 of our 150-day waiting period. We'll see once if I actually see them do the deed. May not catch it because they don't always do it right in front of you. Sometimes they do it. A lot of times they do it at night. So may not witness it, but you know, you can start looking for signs of it, of course. But we'll leave them in here with them for a few days, maybe a week, and then we'll give them back to Jen and hope that, you know, hope they start showing signs of being with child. And then Mike's down there. I don't know if y'all can hear the tractor in the background or see the bright orange blob down there, but he's actually bush hogging this whole pasture down here behind the goats because it needed done. I think it's about time to get the puppy out and introduce the puppy to Kusi. Hi, baby. Hi.
She's like, my mom said I was your favorite little baby.
Beulah's like, I'll help. Beulah's like, I'll catch the puppy.
Like, I'll just introduce myself to everybody.
Oh, ma'am. Okay, so you have a little spunk to you, huh? The little spunk? So we introduced them kind of on neutral territory here outside of the pen because you never know how dogs are going to react. Obviously she's a puppy. I didn't expect her to do much other than just wag her tail. He responded really well. He was really gentle. You know, we've worked with that on his training when it comes to you know, playing gently and being gentle when he wants to play and not realizing his own strength. So I was really proud of him with him being gentle and easy. They're not going to just be thrown together. Today was introduction day, so obviously introduced on neutral territory. He's going to go back into the main part of the pen with the goats. Today she's going to go in his separate pen where he normally gets fed. She's going to go in there for now, and then that's where she'll sleep until she gets bigger. She's too small, in my opinion, still to be just out. Granted, he's bigger, he would protect her, but she's just a little nugget. So for a while, she'll still be in her separate pen. And then I may start transitioning her during the day to be with the birds a little bit, to kind of cross train her some, until she's big enough to just be like out in the pen with the goats and hold her own and stuff, to help kind of get her used to that, because then we'll be able to use them with sheep once we get them as well, because switching between the goats and the sheep won't be that much of a stretch for either one of them. So let's go ahead and get them settled back into their pen.
She's gonna squeeze out through there. Look at her. She's that one piece popped. She's gonna squeeze right through it. Look at her.
Hey!
Hey! No, ma'am.
She's like, now I'm stuck. Now what do I do?
Okay.
Ma'am, Tashka, this is not what's supposed to happen, ma'am. This is why I always stand and watch an animal after I put him in the enclosure. This is the kind of stuff we do. Day one. Let's fix that. I saw exactly what was wrong too. This thing is a bit all jacked up.
Your helping crew is here.
I know, right? So the goats have been all together now for a few days, and Buck has kind of kept to himself a bit. Today's been the first day that he's kind of socialized with them a little bit more, you know, which I knew could potentially be the case. These guys are definitely a bonded trio. Hey, these guys are definitely a bonded trio. So, you know, anytime you introduce a new animal, even though they know this animal and lived with him for quite some time. I tried having the tripod set up in here, but the goats will not leave it alone. Uh, so, which of course kind of spooked Buck a little bit. So he went back to his little corner. He's been staying a little bit more separate from them, which is kind of to be expected. They kind of went through their, you know, little headbutting, I guess you could say pecking order, uh, situation there, which is normal. Anytime you introduce a new animal to animals that are already there, when they're not babies, there's a little bit of that. There's going to be a little bit of that, you know, hierarchy, ranking order going on. And so, you know, that's to be expected, even though they have lived with this goat before, and they've really only been away from him for, you know, a few months since we've moved the goats back here, which was what, like the end of summer, really. He's kind of adjusting. You know, he's kind of stayed up at the top part of this pasture here. He's pretty mellow. He's not an aggressive goat, and not that my goats are aggressive, but they've definitely kind of banded together. So I've tried to kind of, you know, bring them all some hay and kind of get them all to eat together out of my hand and kind of get them together a little bit more. I noticed that he was kind of sleeping by himself. So, you know, I'm a little worried that he's not going to be able to get the deed done because he's a little stressed out, because they haven't fully just kind of accepted him yet. So I may end up having to have him stay here a little bit longer than originally planned, to kind of hope that he really does settle in enough, so that he's not too stressed out to perform, I guess, basically. I don't know how else to put it. I want him to be comfortable enough and that the girls are settled in with him enough, because I know that they have been in heat. They have been showing all the signs of it off and on for the last couple of months. So I know that they are, you know, here for it, so to speak. They should be very accepting of Buck, in that sense. They should have been raring to go, especially Caroline, because I know how much she loves being a mom. And so I'm so hopeful. It wasn't the initial reaction that I was hoping for, of course, but I'm still hopeful that they're gonna kind of just adjust to it and simmer down with it and get the job done. We're hopeful. And then Kusi's down here just rolling around on my feet right now. He has been doing really well with Tashka. If you can see, I've got Tashka. She's in her pen right now. We had some outside time this morning. We're working on kind of learning her name right now and kind of getting her to come and getting her to sit. Hi, Dan. Dan just turned off my recording mid-record there. Gotta love it. It's never a dull moment when you have goats. But basically, you know, he's being very gentle with her. I did fill up both their feeders because he was kind of not wanting to eat when it was time to go up for mealtime, because she would, of course, decide that that was when she wanted to eat. And he's, you know, being a good boy and a gentleman and letting her eat, but and backing off and then essentially not eating. So, you know, kind of letting him have that time. She's camped out. Look at her. She's on her back, taking a snooze. Is she taking a snooze? You taking a snooze? We'll get her out in just a second, but you know, he's been really good with her. I'm proud of him. He did get a little bit too playful this morning. You know, he is still a puppy. You know, he is only about 8 months old, and so he's kind of hasn't really realized his own strength yet. And so we have had to work on sometimes when the goats want to play with him a little bit, or when he sometimes gets the urge to want to herd them a little bit. I have to tell him, you know, leave it, and you know, we have to work on be gentle, you know, easy. When he gets too wound up, we work on easy, and he knows to back off and settle. And you know, so he's learning all of that, and he's doing well with it. Tasha's coming at him full force, and she was like, she ran at him full speed, jumped at him, growled and barked and all this, and he was just like, okay, you know, and he took it. He's just a big baby, and he's a good protector, you know. And he's actually normally, when it was just the 3 goats in here with him, and the goats put themselves in the pen at night, he was going and sleeping with them in the pen. But now that Buck is here and Tashka, he's been sleeping in the middle so he can see everybody at once, which just proves to me that he does feel protective over everybody. He is a good guardian, and he is doing his job. But let's let Tashka out for a little bit. Hi, baby. Tashka. Hi, Tashka, baby. Hi, Tashka. Yes. Good job. Good job. This is a good boy, Kusi. Good boy. Good boy. This is a good girl, Tashka. This is a good girl. Tashka. We're still learning our name, obviously. It's only been like, 2 days, really. So it's gonna take a while, you know, learning some of the basics and learning to come when she's called and to sit and some of those basics. You know, he's obviously a lot farther along in learning all of that stuff than she is. She's gonna get there. She's gonna get there. Yeah, she's gonna get there. And she's down Kusi's bone, of course. Yeah. Is that your friend? Is that your new buddy? Tashka, what'd you find? That's a good girl. Tashka. Hi, baby. Tashka, are you a good girl? Who's good? Tashka. Tashka. I don't know what you guys are doing, but Tashka. Let's see if I can get him to do a little something. Kusi. Come. Sit. Good boy, good. Sit. Yes. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. Tashka. 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 Doesn't know her name yet. That's all right. Follow. 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 Good boy. Kusi, come. Good boy. Sit. Kus. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. Follow. Hold. Hold. Good boy. Good boy. Sit. Goose. Good boy. Good boy. So he listens pretty well. He still has more work to do. Like I said, he's still only 8 months old, and a lot of times these dogs are kind of not fully out of their puppyhood and really, really into their settled state until they're, 15 to 18 months, a lot of times people say. But, Lundy was kind of the same way. She didn't kind of mellow out, even though she was trained and would listen and knew all her commands. There were certain things that she didn't kind of mellow out about until she was much older. But as you can see, I mean, he's being real good with her. He's super gentle with her. That's her growling right now, by the way. I don't know if you guys could hear that. She just growled at him. She found a little bone. She's all about it. She's learning. She's going to have a long way to go too. But she's a beautiful girl. She's a sweet girl. And I think she's going to give him a run for his money in the sense that she's definitely, I think she's a little more strong-willed than he is, in the sense that he wants to please me a little bit more, and he's more gentle in a lot of ways. I can tell she's a little bit more of a firecracker. So I can see already there might be a few things that we might struggle with a little bit more with her, just from her personality so far. But she's just a baby. She's just a baby. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's being real gentle with Tashka because she's a baby. Introductions have gone well. Buck's adjusting. He's just kind of keeping himself a little bit separate, but I think overall everybody's doing pretty well. Caroline, come on. Every goat loves a tripod. I don't know what that's about, but it's a thing. I'm really proud of how well Kusi's doing, and I'm really proud of how well specifically he's doing with Tashka. She's got a lot of personality. Don't mind Caroline and Dan. Goats and tripods, man, they do not get along, let me tell you. It doesn't help that these guys are like attached to my hip. But I'm really proud of how well Kusi's doing. I'm really proud of how well everybody's treating the new baby. And hopefully Buck's going to do his job and give us even more babies, because we need some kids this summer. And we're going to let nature take its course and see if that works out the way it should. I think it will. Chaos theory, right? It'll happen. Had to work with Kusi a little extra this morning because he was sort of treating Buck a little bit like he didn't belong with the herd and kind of beating him up a little bit more, wanting to herd him a little bit extra, being a little bit rougher on him. One right now, Tashka's trying to herd Buck, and Kusi just stopped her. Good boy. He gently stopped her. Good boy, Koos. Good boy. That was good. I don't know how much of that got caught on film, but she took off running after Buck, chasing him, and he gently stopped her from chasing the goat. So that was good. That's progress from working with him today to get him to stop doing that. That's good. He's just gently stopping her from going after the goat. Good job. He's I'm telling you, he's a good boy. So I'm hopeful. I think it's gonna work out. I'm gonna be putting her back up here soon. We've been out playing and working a little bit, and there she goes rolling down the hill. But he's real good with her, real gentle. But she's so small still. She weighs 20 pounds, but she's still small. She's too small to be out here without supervision yet, without me watching and keeping an eye. But she loves to wrestle on him and bite on him and pull on him, and he lets her do it, bless him. I love adding new additions to the farm. I love having babies around the farm. If these two goats will kid here this season, those will be the first babies that were born and bred on this property. So I'm very excited about that. Not counting any ducks. I did get my first duck egg this week. So not counting any ducks that hatch out, those will be technically the first born and bred here. But of the quadruped nature, those will be the first mammals born out here. So that's exciting. That's very exciting. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Always looking to expand the farm and create more sources of good protein and food and entertainment, because who doesn't love a good baby goat, right? And who doesn't love a good puppy? I appreciate you guys, and as always, safety's off.